What's happening, y'all? Another day, another opportunity to be great. What we doing? Not gonna take too much of your time, but let's build real quick. Crispy bacon in the building. Shout out to the members. Got crispy bacon donning us with his presence. Peace and blessings. it's been quite a journey. It's been quite a journey, y'all. Like on the crypto side of things, it's been quite a journey. Those of you who have been around, who stuck it out the last 3 to 4 years on this side of the fence, as far as like the fork of Ethereum type situation, and you're still around, you deserve some type of acknowledgement. Like, wow, give yourself some kind of recognition for being resilient, maybe even practicing patience. I don't know. Maybe practicing patience is something that you need to give yourselves credit for, right? People say when they describe, like, the title of this is crypto toxicity, right? So in the last two and a half years on Pulse Chain, I remember the whole toxic thing. Well, the first thing when you hear about toxicity, you know, you might think, oh, this person who's displaying toxic behavior is just some type of abhorrent, uh, 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 malevolent, some type of individual that all they bring is just controversy and negative energy, and it's just, what is this about? Because you wouldn't care for it in your normal life. So when it's being displayed with in crypto, and people are just quick to insult you, they hurl ad hominem, attacks and fake virtue signals and all this weird stuff. You're like, oh yeah, you want nothing to do with that. No, that energy does not deserve any place in your life. Right? That's natural. Again, in our real lives, how many of us welcome drama? Like, welcome drama. How many of us want problems? We get up every day and then we just look for situations that's going to cause problems and challenges, and we just out here looking for trouble. No, we don't do that. I don't know many people that just wake up on a daily basis and they go out in the world looking for issues, searching for drama, trying to create conflict. So Why would you want to be a part of that and contribute and participate in that in crypto, right? Okay. Look at the flip side. Look at the flip side. The flip side to crypto toxicity is this idea of crypto positivity. Oh, you're gonna be super positive. You're gonna be bull posting, right? You're gonna dismiss everything wrong that's taking place. You're not gonna identify any weaknesses. You're not gonna identify any problems because you're so crypto positive that nothing else matters. You ignore the challenges that are present. You ignore the mistakes. You ignore the problems that exist because you want to be crypto positive. You practically begin to lie, become an absolute liar, being crypto positive, super crypto positive. You just that's it. That's all you're just gonna just bull post to high. I can't even say heaven. You know what I'm saying? Like you just that's all you think. That's all you care. That's your mission. Never mind the conditions of whatever market you're bull posting about. Never mind the fact that the market you're posting about on a positive level has yielded minuscule results by way of profit, has yielded minuscule, if and for most people, no profit. But you're gonna bull post to no end and call yourself being a crusader, being some type of leader, being some type of a voice influencer. You're watching problems take place. You're watching problems unfold in the market you're supporting, in the market you're promoting, in the market you're being super positive about. But you don't talk about it because you want to pretend it's not happening. And all you want to talk about is everything is positive. Do you not find toxicity in that, in those behaviors? People are not going to be real, you know, because they're showing you how unreal and how much of denial they're in, unwillingness to be truthful. Because see, this whole thing, this swings both ways. And you talk about crypto toxicity. Is on one hand, yeah, if all you do is scam, rug pull, you stir up controversy, you're a source of constant drama. Yeah, you just right. You're an earth, you're like you're a person here who all you do is create and stir up problems within the crypto space. It's completely toxic. That's not. You're not needed. even though you can't gatekeep people from doing these things because you want to talk about spirit of decentralization, right? But you, as a person, have a choice whether you want to welcome that into your life or just separate yourself from stupidity. And the obverse is true. I'm not going to join some type of situation where you're going to tell me everything is good when I see so many things that are happening that are bad that go unnoticed, unchecked, unannounced, right? But you want to tell me it's all good, everything is great. That's just as toxic as being a problem starter. Being super positive is become just as problematic as being toxic or negative because it's all toxic. But folks don't understand these things. They don't understand these things. You'll have streamers because when you go on the internet, a regular person coming into this thing, this pulse chain thing, all you have is the internet. In many cases, all people have is the internet. You're gonna join a group, get on the internet, learn about the chain, how on the internet, learn about the chain, how really like joining groups on the internet to learn about what's going on. You might look at old videos. You might jump on a Twitter or X, formerly known as Twitter, to remain abreast as to what's going on, et cetera, et cetera. You might do a bunch of things, but it's all going to be on the internet. So it's you who are alone dealing with the internet, and you have to feel through a bunch of different things so that you don't become a victim. Not only do you have to feel through getting to these, always taking accountability for yourself. Make sure you don't jump into the wrong Telegram group or Discord group, right? Make sure all your safety, your operational security is up to par. That's just doing regular stuff. Never mind getting into a community on a blockchain where people have nothing but ulterior motives and hidden agendas every single day. And you having to really like investigate, understand what you're dealing with so that you don't get scammed. It's crazy. But then on the same token, the same group that you're dealing with, you have folks, again, they have their own hidden motives. They're going to talk sweet to you so you can give them your money. And we're not even talking about levels of the founder and these other influencers that have been around the founder. And I'm going to say it like that, have been around the founder since the beginning of this whole thing. We talk about, penny at little, mid-level, no-level type newbies who coming in and they see a wide open lane to extract, to create opportunities to grift. You got to feel through all that. And you as a new person coming in, you got to feel through all that. But you constantly hear, oh, this is the best chain, is this and that, beat the SEC. Oh, man, so super decentralized, this and that and this. But you're not also listening to the other part that they're not telling you. All you're hearing is one way. And then you're like, oh, yeah, sure, this is so great. Fork of Ethereum, sure, let me jump in. Yes, let's see what's going on. And then more often than not, if you're not careful, you have a bad experience. Oh, but I thought this was, I'm listening to a influencer. I was listening to an influencer who y'all exalted, who does streams weekly, who talks about how great this community is, how great the founder is, who's been doing this for years. I've been listening to y'all, right? I'm listening. This founder, this influencer seems like they've engendered trust. So when the influencer does something extra, more than just streaming, when the influencer suggests that they're going to do a sacrifice for their own personal project, when the influencer tells you they're going to launch their own coin, separate from whatever the founder was talking about, and then you as a new person coming in, you're like, oh, this guy, but this, this person engendered trust from the entire community. Even the founder supports this guy, the influencer. Oh, the influencer is going to launch a coin. I'm going to support it because I found a community that just seems like everybody's so super positive. It's great. It's great. Cookie the chocolate. I see you. Hope all is well with you. So they're going to say the new person is going to believe in the influencer because the founder supports the influencer. And if you have support like that from the founder of the block of the fork of Ethereum who's supporting an influencer, I mean, if that's not like that validation, you know how many people have been looking who would appreciate that type of recognition from the founder? So if the influencer launches their own project, launches their own coins, tokens, sacrifice, whatever they have going on, you're going to trust them more than anybody else. You're going to trust them more. You're going to trust them the most next to a founder because a founder trusts that person, gives clout to that person, praises that influencer. You don't know any better because you brand new coming on the scene. Then you buy the coin, you drop money, so you're investing in this influencer's coin or idea, promise, or project. That coin goes to zero. You made nothing. You didn't get a return on your investment. Then what happens? You're left to understand, oh, you should have did your own research. You're left to understand what not financial advice really means. You're left to also understand what no expectations mean. You're left to understand all these things while you've experienced an unnecessary loss that no one forced you to get into, in quotes, right? You're left to witness the influencer not completely take accountability for launching coins and not really understanding what they were doing. Not, you understand? The influencer doesn't take full accountability on how his operations took place, which led to the coin being rugged, the liquidity being rugged, and the price dropping to zero. You're left with overall a bad experience. You're left with understanding what, right? Getting rugged means and what it feels like. All the while, you thought you were being positive. All the while, you thought you found a situation that's going to help you, not hurt you, that's going to benefit you, not harm you. To me, that's just as toxic as anyone else who's out here and all they do is hurl ad hominems, like I said. All they do, they're just a source of contention and it's just drama. That's just as toxic. Joining another situation where you think someone is on the level and that they're teaching a community, that they call themselves being a leader of a community, supported by the founder of the fork of Ethereum, and the coins that they've launched, that this influencer has launched, hasn't helped the community financially, hasn't helped its supporters financially, because the prices have dropped to zero. And it's just what it is. Now you're going to say what? Because the founders' main coins are down to zero, you know? This is another thing too. When people talk about they're waiting for prices to go to zero, the price has been at zero since the chain launched. We're talking about sub penny level. The prices have been at zero for the cause, except for INC token. That man's core coins have been at zero, especially PLS and PLSX have been at zero since inception. This is like this is below zero levels. See, folks play with words for the people who do not want to think for themselves. They play with words. And then you have weirdos who come around and think that they don't like the message. Like, for example, the message that I talk about, because I carve through the foolishness. People just, it's undeniable. It's undeniable. And they'll say, "Oh, no, you don't know what you're talking about." If I don't know what I'm talking about, why are you listening? Right. Yeah, I don't look for these people. If you have a contrarian perspective, I could respect that. I could respect that within reason, though. It gotta make sense, because if it doesn't make sense, I'll dismiss it off rip. That's it. But again, certain people, like, the problem with all this is I see it from both sides, because I was on the other side. Oh, we're one day closer to the next all-time high. We're one day closer, one day closer, one day closer. Then, while kept talking about how we're one day closer, these people were one day grifting every single day. The same time I'm talking about we're one day closer. Grifts were happening every single day. But don't acknowledge the grifts, though. Pretend that's not going on. Don't highlight the bad activity that's been taking place. Don't speak about that, right? Be a hypocrite. Become a deceiver on this thing called the internet. Just get up every day when you're blessed to see another day, and consciously decide to deceive people on the internet every day. By talking about this situation that folks can barely understand. Tell them about this new opportunity. For them, for the common person, they might think, "Oh, it's a new gambling, new risk, new gambling play," because it's all a risk. But talk about this gambling play. Talk about this risk every day. Talk about it enough to where the people start to, when they hear your messaging, they know what you're about to say because they're so used to hearing you talk so much. And all you do is frame your messaging according to what you want people to understand. And in that messaging, you're not keeping it all the way honest. You all I'm gonna talk about is everything positive, everything positive, everything positive, while everything has been down into the effing right. And I'm gonna keep talking that positivity to you. You don't see something wrong with that? That level of programming, that level of again being a real liar, not just for the sake of just telling a mistruth and just saying whatever, just to create, I don't know, to troll or again to just hurl insults for the sake of virtue signaling and being a dickhead. But if I'm gonna keep telling you everything is all good, just hold on and be patient without acknowledging the struggles that people have had, without acknowledging the struggles not only that people have had to endure, all the ups and downs, most importantly, the constant sideways and down activity and price on this chain, how people are going through it, how people been suffering for real. I'm not going to become some type of provocateur, some type of tool, some type of agent. Buffalo Heart, I see you, man. Salute. I'm not going to become some type of agent to create and further realize. These people want to talk about folks as some kind of counterculture against the found. No, 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 no. See, when you create labels, when you want to, give again, this the whole thing again with the maxi, right? Going against builders, maxi, this counterculture, these labels, sort of like to categorize groups, create division, separation, diversify. See, you creates, it wants to separate people so that now you could assume this weird identity and now want to clash with others who are not of your identity. We have to look at things very, very carefully out here and not pretend like all is good when all is not well. All isn't well, all hasn't been good on this chain. Absolutely not. And I think lying, pretending, I think furthering the deception, I think that's what's truly toxic. I think bull posting to no end, bull posting, meaning displaying messages as if we're in a constant bull run, displaying messages as if we're in this raging bull market every day, throughout the day, all day. I think that's toxic. because it's not the truth. It's not real. You're lying. You're really lying to the people. You know, it's in a funky state right now. This is a super funky state right now. I'm telling y'all, this is not a position to be in that's super comfortable. No one knows where this is gonna go. And this type of limbo type of situation, we've been in limbo for 2.5 years. You can't blame a court battle anymore. Some of you may want to still blame the red notice, Interpol wanted list, blah blah blah. You want to blame it, but there's no secret that the price performance have been a disaster. That's not being toxic. That's being truthful. That these influencers have their own agendas. I could rock with an influencer who keeps it honest with their people by saying, things have been hard, and that they can relate because they're going through it with their audience. But there's a specific influencer who I already talked about, who I guess stepped in the wrong shoe the other day. Like, I don't know what perspective he's coming from, but he's making some mistakes, big time, big time mistakes, man. And this is the internet, so people are gonna figure it out the way they figure it out. I'm not gonna just give out information like that. But you put yourself in a mistake, and you tell the world that you're a self-proclaimed leader. He didn't say he's a self-proclaimed leader, but he called himself a leader. So that self-proclaiming was position you put yourself in. You made money when you took a break from streaming. You made money. You came back and told your audience you made money. Like, there's so many issues with what he spoke about coming back. So many of y'all trust that guy. The dude tarnished his reputation more than once. And the internet is not helping him forget that he launched two coins that rugged the same influencer who your founder of the Ethereum copy, the founder of Pulsechain, supports this influencer. The same influencer will tell you and everybody that they are back to spread some kind of message going against a counterculture. What message is that going against what counterculture? You spreading a message going against truth speakers? Because what is it? What else is it? You understand? You're not spreading a message to tell your supporters how you're going to make them whole. Well, is it even your job to make people whole after investing something? If you told them have no expectations, right? You followed the lead of a founder who has not made themselves available the way he once used to on the internet. You followed that person's lead and don't see a problem with people who have legitimate concerns, legitimate, legitimate concerns. It's all you guys are being disrespectful to the founder. Nobody listen. I can't speak for anybody else. I'm very unapologetic to the founder. I don't care about how he don't care about me. Why am I gonna care about, you know what I'm saying? I'm grown, man. Older than him in life. Like I don't have to what type of game we playing here? What type of game we play? This is not a family situation. People have rifts and beef with their family age old. Like some folks never even resolve. Well, that's family. You think I'm gonna do it with a nondescript person who I'll never meet on the internet? Nobody cares, bro. This is not a family situation. This is where that cult hive mind. Now you want to talk about again toxicity, right? There's certain people they could never really realize. They could never wake up from this deep programming that they've been under, right? It's gonna take so much work to get them to really change, shift their thinking because they've just been inducted into the cult mentality of this situation right here, yo. Because we've seen consistent, damn near criminal behavior take place, and that's just like it's just become commonplace and it's accepted among these cult members. Like it's cool, it's fine. Okay, cool. Now, oh, you rugged? Oh, you lost something, and oh, yeah, no problem. When you gonna stream again? What? That's when you know. That's when you want to talk about toxicity. Go join the camp of ultra positivity. Go join the camp of ultra positivity, where people don't even know how to respect phantoms, the phantoms of truth. But they want to be ultra positive, but they don't acknowledge the phantom of truth. You have individuals who've been suffering, but you have these cult members. They want to tell you that they're believers and all this. This is not what are we talking about? Believer what? Believer what? What level of believers are you talking about? When people have been suffering, people are tired. You think everybody out here is rich? Like, be for real. People have allegedly committed suicide within this community. This is what I don't understand. Y'all quick to tell somebody happy birthday. Y'all quick to tell this founder happy birthday, which is not a problem. You're quick to glaze this man and tell him happy birthday on his birthday. Yay. Meanwhile, and you're giving it to a man who did not even have enough sense, didn't have enough compassion, much less empathy to at least acknowledge how people have become insufferable. I mean, on the ultra level. And they don't want to acknowledge the phantom of truth. Where if you hear as a founder that members in your community hurt themselves by committing suicide, real talk, hurt themselves like that, you're not even empathetic enough, compassionate. You don't even pretend to care and even utter a prayer. You don't even utter a prayer for the souls that have had to endure that type of trauma and their loved ones that are left behind, to allow them to understand that you care enough to give them some type of encouraging word wasn't required. But guess what? That could have helped. Wasn't going to harm, but that could have helped. But these people, and that didn't come from your founder. Your founder didn't do that. But everybody glazing this guy because of birthday. How do you think the loved ones feel about the people they lost? Because allegedly, and this is where it's just crazy, folks, allegedly people say that they couldn't take it anymore with the price performance of the blockchain, so they hurt themselves in that way, and they no longer exist. We don't know what the truth is. I'm not close to these people, but you got members in the community that are close to these people that knew who they were. Hmm. Exactly. Like, come on, these people, and then we'll tell you, not only what they won't even acknowledge, but they will tell you people are lying. How are people lying when the activity is on chain? There are fundamental problems that exist that's bigger than some damn PDI, folks. There are fundamental problems that exist that's larger, much larger than some PDI. You know? What is not a lie, what's not a lie is hearing this man. I heard it with my own ears on the stream earlier this year, is when hearing him talk about leaders have to make a decision. He's down bad on his own stream. This is earlier this year, maybe January, February, around the PDI stuff. He wanted to do a PDI conference, but he said he had to do something, figure something out because he was down bad. What does down bad mean? What's down bad mean? The price of your portfolio was down bad. Your money situation down bad. Like, what else could it mean? What else? And I'm not clowning that because I understand that. That's being real. Cool. But then up to that point, you still had already launched a token that on chain you can see the activity that took place. You rub the coin but then that's a lie, bruh. This is what I'm talking about. These people are disingenuous, man. Disingenuous. And want to denounce folks about some weird label it counterculture, counter lying. Those who are against grifting. You want to denounce, you become a known grifter now. Like that's what it is. Stop trying to dress it up like it's not that, right? You know what I mean? Then you told the world, then he tells the world, oh, he was dealing with some Texit project, some Texit coin, made the bag, made his bag, like said these words, like you're telling the world what you're doing. And that you said for the next 3 to 4 years until the next cycle. Are your viewers set for the next 3 to 4 years? See, it'd be one thing, again, if you and your audience came up together, right? But my people, they pick and choose when shit is convenient and solely for them and forget about everybody else. This is what I mean when I say folks are so fake. They're so fake in these parts over here. When they show you who they are, believe them, y'all. Believe them. He'll tell you he came up 30x. We'll say it. Yo, this such and such, such and such, such and such garbage coin, 30x. Meanwhile, the viewers are like, can they say the same? No, but it's about dude. It's about, this is another classic example of when people pick and choose when shit convenient. When shit great for them, they could point fingers at everybody else because you're comfortable now. You comfortable. You caked up now. You good for 3 to 4 years. So now you could go back and look at everything and criticize everybody except yourself. You point fingers at one person, you always got three coming back at you. You pointing, you criticizing, you talking crazy about everything else now because you're comfortable. When you weren't comfortable, when you were down bad, you were desperate. So it's let me launch this. Huh? Let me do this sacrifice. Let me launch in confidence this. Let me do this, the good die situation. Because you were uncomfortable and you needed to get some money. By all means, at whatever means, by any means necessary, you needed to get money. You didn't care about your reputation. Why you bounced for a few months? Oh, you probably needed to take a break. You can say whatever you want, but I've been following this guy for years. Already streamed about this dude. Already streamed about, like, I understand the nature of what's going on here a little bit better than most. Because not like I'm better, it's just because I've just been watching this guy stream since I got into this whole situation here. You're giving mixed messages, and this another one. But guess what, man? He's the founder's protege. The founder don't care about no damn Sami or anybody else. The founder chose who the protege is. That's why the protege is going to protege and rock people to sleep and tell folks how they're lying, and he's not. Meanwhile, his hands are just as dirty. Y'all got to wake up, bro. Y'all have to wake up. Y'all got to wake up. You got to understand. Like these people pretend like, oh, Giving Tree, some kind of crypto psychologist. Like that shit is bullshit. That's toxicity, bro. That's the real toxicity right there, bro. And then you got a innumerable amount of people brainwashed. And then we'll tell you, this is the thing. This guy told you, yo, one way to combat certain types of speech is more speech. Now, I can't disagree with that. That I can understand because that's what I've been doing. All this rhetoric, if you want to call it counterculture, if you want to call it contrarian perspective, I'll wear that. I'll accept that 100,000%, or 2.2 billion%, as high as the PDI coin went on Pulse Chain. I'll accept that. Oh yeah, counterculture. Yeah, you call me that. I'll be that for sure. Because I've just kept speaking against the bullshit that they've been spewing and continue to talk about. Why? It's because I feel that I was part of the problem too. So I have to undo that. Now this is about a process of, but see, for me, it has a deeper meaning. These people, they don't deal with certain levels of realities in life. I'm not better, but I understand the power of the word. And when you misuse that power, you got to deal with the consequences. You got to deal with the consequences of how that word impacts people. And you got to deal with the consequences as being the person who delivered the message. There's no escaping that. So yeah, I'm going to undo that programming that I did by delivering a different message counter to what I was talking about. Oh yeah, it's going to be like that for a while too. It's going to be like that for a while because unfortunately for your founder, he put himself in a corner. And so people have no choice. It's either you call him out or you double back. It's either you call him out or you reinforce. You reinforce the problems that exist. Call him out. Y'all afraid to call him out. It's cool. But it's documented that I've been calling him out. Not for brownie points, but because it's simply the right thing to do. Because I decided to speak into the world on the internet and have to deal with the accountability and the consequences of just doing that. Just doing that. And I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't hold myself accountable. Like a lot of these people, they making excuses. They don't understand why you have to call out the problems. They'll tell you they don't see the point in highlighting the errors, the weaknesses, the flaws. They don't see a point in that. So what does that mean? That means don't speak about that. Just speak about the strengths all the way. That's it. Like, or perceived strengths, or what somebody would want you to believe are the positives. 100% uptime and all this other, et cetera, et cetera. Meanwhile, the same people that are telling you about some uptime, that used to do weekly streams and tell you about some cryptotherapy, have rugged their own community. But don't talk about that. And the same person that rugged their own community, the founder will tell everybody in front of everybody, will thank that influencer for doing conferences. Because that influencer held the founder by the balls. Who's in charge of who? Who's leading who? The founder, who y'all saying happy birthday to, had to bend the knee to the influencer. When the influencer said they deserve an apology. What the founder do? Because the influencer was just about to have a conference. And the founder had no choice but to bend the knee. Because if the influencer clipped the conference, that would have hurt the founder and everything he got going on in Post Chain. So you became subservient to this influencer. You became a female dog, right? To the influencer. You became, right? You need to wear a leash. Now the influencer became the founder master. The founder's master. Some S&M, sadomasochism, slave master type situation. What you talking about? Dominatrix, feminatrix, what we doing? Foolishness. Foolishness. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that. He used his whatever work, the influencer used whatever work he had as leverage against the founder, and it worked. Because the founder's not strong like that. That's what you show. That's what you show in the world. All that bravado, obnoxious behavior and empty, baseless rhetoric has become empty. All of his rhetoric of old, he negated with all the hypocrisy and controversy and contradictions he's presented this year. So many messages he put out into the world about crypto and what it's supposed to be and who he is as a person in crypto. And he's supposed to be some kind of agent for good. So many of those messages on the internet right now have not aged well. Let me tell y'all, they have not aged well. And this is what we're dealing with. So y'all think I'm lying? When the person said, the founder himself said, volunteering, people who volunteer, for example, let's pick one out of it. How many contradictions this dude has done? Latest one is the volunteering, because people have volunteered to do these shipping container mass marketing that y'all volunteered for, right? What did he thought about volunteers years back? What did he think about volunteers? What did he think about people who volunteered their time to pump their bags? What do you think about them? He didn't think too highly of the people who volunteered in the past before. He did it, right? Insulted you all. Insulted you all. Why? Because you're volunteering for an ICO project where the monies, these crypto founders already got billions already. And now, and from you, they got billions. And now you're going to give more of yourself by volunteering. You're an idiot. This is what he would call y'all. More of yourself to do X, Y, and Z. And what's happening now? DG, I see you. See, you see, and this guy's coming back to resurface to create more problems. Like knowing that even shout out to Buffalo Heart, knowing that these come on man, come on man, what y'all want to listen to y'all, and when I say y'all, I say that on a general level, not really identifying anybody in this chat. You know what I'm saying? People, they want to listen to the likes of him. They want to listen to the people like that. They want to listen to people like that. We've been enduring so much, like being patient, all this stuff, down and to the right, and it's just been consistent down and sideways to the right. And these people, this is what I say, this is why I say, this is why I say, folks, let this year go by. Let the remaining of this year go by. The last 2.5 months of this year go by. And let no green candles or green candles or green candles be produced. Anything remotely close to a 10x, 20x for the, now it has to be reduced to that. You can't even aim for 100 anymore. Oh, it's going to be a problem. I can already see it. It's going to be a problem. You see the community already. You see what's happening in the community if y'all care. Like, it doesn't, in the grand scheme of things, it's just whatever. But people are just like, more and more people now expressing their displeasure with your founder and all this other shit. For real. So imagine, let 2025 go and nothing materializes by way of any type of price performance, price movement, improvement. Oh man, get ready. Get ready. Like, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. Like, dude, you are an emphatic loser. You're losing. You're failing. You're failing because you're not acknowledging your failures. That's the problem. It's not about, just being a failure because the thing just failed. You're not acknowledging that this didn't turn out to be what y'all thought it was going to be. You're not being real. You're not being authentic. I don't care what kind of mental problem is somebody going through, bro. Just because you got some kind of mental problem, that doesn't give you an excuse. You're not stupid. You know right and wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, you were wrong. Just say you were wrong. But some people, So it's what it is. It's what it is. Oh, hold on. Oh, you're going to compare and contrast this to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and keep pushing the goalpost back because it's convenient. Keep pushing it back. Convenient. Keep pushing it back. The first 2 years of Hex you can't compare to the first 2 years of Pulse Chain. One is a ERC20, the other is an entire chain. So what are you talking about? The first 2 years, oh yeah, ERC20, okay, 10,000X, ha, hee, hee. That was one coin. Ha, hee, hee. Now you have an entire chain. More problems. The coin that you want to disassociate yourself with, you said 30 plus tweets. Oh no, don't connect me to PDI. None of the scared. The first 2 years up to that point, so many coins are bonded to PDI and got burned. Forever on the chain, dead, unless somebody got the keys and they could spend whatever's in those dead addresses. That thing is cooked. It's done, literally burned. So all of that, and how they burn it, they waited for the price of PLS to drop so low, so they could bond, right? pair up the tokens together at a low price. So if you inject anything sizable, it's pew, price go up. Pew. But then if you cook the token, talk about, yo, this thing ain't doing nothing, this and that and this. Why do you think it's taking so much longer for it to go back to 3 cents and beyond? This whole campaign these people have done, but meanwhile, your entire chain, you know what I'm saying? Like so many coins on the chain are bonded to PDI. It's not even funny. But y'all not talking about what ramifications that could be, because it's the censure, PDI, PDI. Who put it out there? This was the world's largest airdrop. Who put these coins? You telling people it's the world's largest airdrop. Matter of fact, folks, this one coin went 2.2 billion%. Like, the incident will never let him live that down. Like, he messed up. Big time, bro. Big time. It is what it is, man. When people look back, like, you gotta these people here, bro. These people here, man. These people here, man. To really admit, like, they could never admit they were wrong. They could never admit they were wrong. That's on them. That's on them. They could never admit that, like, dude, you launched 2 coins that were rugged, and you hurt people by doing that. They could never admit that, yo. Imagine that. That's not even a lie. Like, that's just there on chain or whatever. You want to not accept that it's a rug? Okay, you scammed. Like, they can't even admit that. Soulless individuals, bro. Behaviors like that. What do you call that? You call that positive? You call that beneficial? No, I call that crypto toxicity. I call that devastating. I call that harmful, destructive. That's what that is. That's what those behaviors represent. Like, too many, like one thing folks, like, the founder has to understand, like, there's certain people in life, like, those of us that have just sound mind, right? I don't know about you all, but I've always been taught that respect goes a long way. When you respect people, and specifically respect those that have come before us, who are our elders, right? Like, respect that no matter how big you think you are, there's always somebody out there that's bigger than you in every way. Understand your position. Understand the role you play. Understand it. This guy thinks he's number one. Meanwhile, you watching how you're barely number. You're not. Yeah, you in a certain position, but you're not the top person. You're not. Not many people could raise 1.6 billion in 6 months. $1.6 billion in 6 months. Not many people can do that. But you're not the only person in the world that can do that. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, there are people out here that have done many, many, many things higher. If you don't believe that, then you're truly sick. You think he's the only person in the world? Net worth or whatever is a billion, 2 billion, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you fumbling, you bumbling, you call Satoshi a bitch. Meanwhile, you're behaving like a bitch, hiding, complaining. You clown your community 1 minute, then you beg your community the next minute. You're a fool. Like, you behave like a clown, bro. Like, you've been given these abilities, natural, innate abilities to create, to produce, and you misuse your gifts. You squander it. Like you could see the misuse. There's always a consequence for these things. Like, oh, you're not using it properly? Oh, it could be removed. It could be removed. Life teaches us some of the best lessons we'll ever learn. Imagine, bro. You got people here who are parents, who are grandparents, kowtowing behind this childless soul. This childless human being. Folks, you got parents and grandparents who believe in everything. He's like kids who look up to these parents. Like they have nobody else. Your parents, you're a child, your parents look at you as you're their hero. And you, being a hero in your child's eye, are gonna glaze a childless man and secretly call him a hero? What does that make you? What the F is going on out here, man? Nah, this ain't stopping. If I don't do it, someone else will. That's why I see what's going on. Like, if I'm not speaking the real, someone else is. And that's how it's been too. It's just more people are doing it now. It's what it is. Because you can't hide the truth for so long. Straight like that. These people are lost, bro. They lost. Lost. I met some of these people, man, shook hands with them and all that. Wasted my time, bro. Wasted my time. Imagine me leave the internet for a few months, 3, 4, whatever amount of months. I come back and not only do I come back and I stream, but all of a sudden, I tell you all that, hey, I made my bag launching some type of trash coin. So I'm going to be good for the next 3 to 4 years. And while I'm good for the next 3 to 4 years, I'm going to be back to streaming and becoming a defender. I'm going to defend deception. Because that's what this crypto psychologist is doing. Defending deception. What are you doing? You would look at me like I'm just like any other scammer, any other piece of garbage. Any other piece of shit. You would see it is, and it will be rightfully so. Rightfully so. I don't give a about y'all. I don't care about y'all. I care about me. Make sure I'm right for the next 4 years while I continue to rock y'all to sleep. Keep the agenda going. And some people, they're so absent of a conscience. They're so void of a conscience. We're talking sociopath, psychopath. We're talking about pathology. They're so absent of a conscience, bro. Hearing things like some people could have unalived themselves because of the poor performance of the community, crypto projects and blockchain price, poor, that doesn't even affect them one way or another. That's who you're around. That's who you're supporting. That's who, when you go to the conferences, you're milling around and shaking and rocking and rolling with, right? It's folks like that who don't care about, right? Nothing. Except when somebody's birthday come around, it's, oh, happy birthday. Happy birthday. What? It would have been balanced and different if at least the person you glaze and say happy birthday acknowledge the supporters that have unalived themselves for whatever type of tribulation, trial and tribulation they were dealing with. It might have not have even been a reason because of the crypto situation, but for whatever, just for knowing that they've been supporting. You want to do Christmas streams and act like you connected with people who are out here alone. What about the people who are out here and kill themselves? You see,